Alright everybody, so for lesson 2 this week, looking at Australia's government system, we're going to take and look at leaders. Now, one of the things that's very common nowadays is people having very mixed emotions on the leaders of the country. America, we have Trump. We got a lot of polarized feelings on him. Before him, we had President Obama, and there were also lots of polarized feelings on him. And in England right now, we actually had the Prime Minister who was in charge when Brexit was passed. She was like seen as this really racist lady, and she ended up getting knocked out. Their current Prime Minister Boris Johnson, he's got he basically they call him Britain's Trump, and Australia is no different. Their prime ministers, they've been changing them really often and a lot of times for controversial reasons. They do say a lot of things that are polarizing that make people feel one way or the other very strongly with no middle ground, or if there is middle ground, it's very little. Most people are either love them or hate them. There's no real in between. So, first off, I have a list of the prime ministers in Australia. Now, I only want you to focus on the 2007 to now, and basically just kind of look at this. And while you're looking at it, I want you to take and answer the question: who lasted the longest? What prime ministers that managed to keep the seat the longest, and also who lasted the shortest amount of time. One of them was in and out before a whole year had passed. And it's going to tell you how did these people leave office. It's going to say were they, kicked out? Did they resign? What happened to make them no longer be the prime minister? And then I have two videos on Australians' large number of prime ministers. Again, continue that trend. They're going to talk about what you were seeing in the Wikipedia list, where it's just like there's one after the other after the other. And so these videos are going to tell you about those prime ministers, why they were controversial, why they did not have that lasting power. And lastly, I want you to kind of compare America's presidential democracy with Australia's parliamentary democracy. What is it about prime ministers that makes them be changed so much more often? Because, how many years does our president last? 4. Unless they get impeached, which, while our president has been impeached, he was not removed from office. And that's basically the only way to really get them out, other than some sort of medical issue that causes them to no longer be able to do the job, including, unfortunately, passing away. Because, I don't care how you feel about anybody, I'm not really going to go and wish death on them. That's just not cool. But, yeah, basically, what is it about the prime minister system, the parliamentary democracy, that makes them change their leaders so often? Remember, we talked about how the parliamentary government, the legislative and executive branches, were one thing, while there are two things in a presidential democracy. And do you think one of those systems is better than the other? I mean, the other. After you've looked through all these materials, is it better to be able to have the leader removed super easily, or does that hurt the stability of the country? Because you have, with like our 4-year system, they're going to be in there for 4 years, so they're going to be able to take and do stuff, and whether we like it or don't like it, that does offer some stability. But at the same time, if they're just really bad, we do have a way to get them out. But it does seem like the parliamentary system's a lot more available to get them out. Anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing back from everybody, seeing your responses, and I'll see everybody in lesson 3. All right, class.